Thank you, Mayor. My name is Alex Stein. I am here tonight because we're in Grapevine. You guys are very familiar, obviously, DFW Airport. And I am a commercial airline pilot for Spirit Airlines. And I'm a little frustrated because if you turn on the TV, all I'm seeing is a bunch of bimbos in space.
The moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
That's right. They're sending Lauren Sanchez and Oprah Winfrey's, I don't even know what, Oprah Winfrey's lesbian lover, I guess, to space. And I just think that that is absolutely ridiculous. It's a waste of resources. Me flying, I'm in the aerospace industry, and I don't want to try to land my plane and worry about, running into some woman with, silicone breasts or something like that. I mean, listen, are they sending them up to space to try to test the effects of Ozempic on what it does to you in a zero gravity environment? I don't know, but I know that it looks fake, and I'm not saying the Earth is flat, but I'll tell you this much, that originally we went to the moon. It was done by a bunch of Nazis, a guy by the name of Werner von Braun, who was brought over during a thing called Operation Paperclip. So I don't want to go to space with a bunch of bimbos and Nazis when we got a bunch of problems here in America, especially in Grapevine, that we need solved. I mean, damn, Grapevine Mills Malls is one of the most empty malls in America, and it should be one of the most full malls, considering that the, financial makeup of this city is pretty affluent. So listen, I'm sick of these big-breasted women going to space, wasting our money, and they're wearing these form-fitted suits. Why do you need to show cleavage? Does that make any sense? You don't even need to show cleavage. So none of this really makes sense. It's a bunch of Nazis. You got Katy Perry talking about how she kissed a girl and she likes it. I mean, Mayor Tate, I don't want a bunch of lesbians in space. You know what I mean? And I've lost custody of my kids because my ex-wife Tanya is trying to transition Max into Maxine. So I'm going through a lot of personal struggles, and I've been clean and sober for 14 years, but I'll be honest, I've been listening to a little bit of Kanye West music, and I've been huffing nitrous oxide because that does not show up on my drug test. So I've been flying these planes high on nitrous oxide, and I guess maybe I'm here to tell on myself because I don't want to be responsible for a catastrophic incident. And a lot of people are worried about the pilot being African American. Well, you just better hope your pilot's not high on laughing gas like Kanye West. I think that's the most important thing. So with all that being said, let's try to protect our airspace here in Grapevine and the DFW area, and we don't need a bunch of bimbos in space acting like God knows what. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Anyone else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that completes citizen comments.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself, why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great show. We got George Papadopoulos on the program to talk about the political persecution that he faced and the little bit of jail time that he did. Not trying to, make it a small thing. It was a very big thing to actually have to do jail time, but luckily it wasn't that long. We're going to get to the bottom of that, I guess, misappropriation of our Department of Justice. So I'm excited to talk to George. And then after George, we got the one, the only, Edgar the Puppet, to talk about his recent assault. He was assaulted. He was a victim of assault, just like Jimmy was a victim of a trans assault. And was this person trans, Jimmy, that assaulted Edgar?
Pretty sure, yes.
Well, another trans attack. Wow. Wow. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Well, we're going to get into all of that. So with all that being said, let's welcome on our first guest, the one, the only, George Papadopoulos. George, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, doing great, Alex. Thanks for having me.
Well, and I'm sure you saw what I said, though. When you went to actual jail, you actually had to go to jail. It's such a BS thing. You're one of the only people that actually had to go to jail because of this Russian collusion thing, and they gave you 2 weeks. What kind of bullshit is that? Excuse my French, George. I mean, why even give you 2 weeks? It just seems so politically motivated. I can't believe that they would have the audacity to do that so flagrantly.
Yeah, Alex, look, I mean, they put me in a camp, so it wasn't even a jail. I was up in freezing cold Wisconsin I'm from Chicago originally, so I'm kind of used to the cold of it, but it wasn't a pleasant experience nonetheless. And look, they tried to destroy many people's lives. I actually probably had it one of the easiest, considering what other people went through. They had to sell their homes. They had to, they had health issues as a direct result of this. I was a relatively young guy when I went through it. I think I was 28 or 29. So I was able to recover. And I'm enjoying my best life right now. And because, finally the truth has come out, people really saw what a weaponized government looks like, Alex. And, you have people from the FBI that were involved in this scandal that are now sitting in prison that most people don't know about. People like Charles.
Yeah, wait, time out. Wait. So you're telling me, because I'm good friends with Jonathan Gross, and I know this is a Russian collusion, it's different. But in the January 6th, with any of these things where we know that they were weaponized, we don't ever get any justice. So you're telling me that there is some justice for the Russian collusion? Who went to jail again? Oh, the two. Who went to jail? Not Peter Strzok or what? Who went to jail?
I'm so happy you're asking. You're so shocked by what I just said, Alex, because you're a patriot. You follow these things, and even you're shocked. So imagine what millions of Americans and people around the world don't know. Charles McGonigal, Peter Strzok's boss, was sentenced to over 6.5 years in prison after the Durham probe. You had people like Kevin Kleinsmith, who was the FBI attorney, who was convicted of a felony, and he was disbarred and disgraced. You have Jim Comey currently under criminal investigation by the acting FBI director, Kash Patel. So there is some accountability. And just yesterday, to my complete, pleasant shock, you had the U.S. attorney in D.C., or the prospective U.S. attorney in D.C., send this letter to one of the Mueller prosecutors, basically asking him to sit down to talk about what he was involved in. Especially
who was that? Ed Martin? Who sent that? Who said that?
Yeah, I believe it was Ed Martin. That's right, Ed Martin. I don't think he's been confirmed yet. That's why I said the prospective U.S. attorney. So there's a lot of action going on right now. There are a lot of people that are quiet. Peter Strzok's been quiet for months. Jim Comey has been quiet for months. John Brennan. Obviously, President Obama has a million problems of his own. Joe Biden, I think he's in Hollywood right now trying to be an actor. So we're living
good for
in
Joe Biden.
down.
Real quick, time out. I mean, hasn't Joe Biden been through enough? I mean, let him do a damn In-N-Out commercial. I mean, the guy's been walked around like a puppet Weekend at Bernie's for the past 4 years. I mean, I feel I'm not just saying this. I know I'm a comedian. I joke around. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I really don't, because I don't think he was making any decisions the past 4 years. He might have thought he was, but I guess my point is I feel like he was as much of a victim as the rest of us over the past 4 years from the policies that were put in place.
Yeah, Alex. I mean, it was definitely it was a year at Bernie's, not a weekend at Bernie's. The way that they basically propped him up as this cadaver.
The auto pin? The auto pin? You know he wasn't signing anything, George. He had a damn auto pin.
Well, that's what I mean. It was like a 4 year at Bernie's type of situation. He was hidden half the time, sleeping the other half, and whenever he was somewhere public, he was using auto pen. I mean, the whole thing was a disgrace, and people saw right through it. That's why obviously Trump had the resounding victory that he had, and now the shoe's on the other foot, Alex. The Department of Justice is now run by patriotic people, constitutionalists. You have people like A.G. Bondi over there.
Wait, you really think the rabbit has the gun? You really do believe that? That's not an illusion. And I love Donald Trump. I'm not trying to critique Donald Trump, but I'm saying, and I said this to Simona, your lovely wife, as well. It's like, even though Donald Trump can have the best intentions, there's still red tape. He's still the president. Like, he still can't just snap his fingers and everything gets done. Obviously, he can do a lot. He's very powerful. So I'm just saying, like, how much can these people really do? How much vindication can Trump really give us for COVID with Fauci and all these? I mean, like, really and truly, does he really have the power to go in there and, I guess, tear it up from the inside out? Because, this is an establishment that's been there longer than Trump, longer than us. And there's people within the CIA and the deep state. They look at presidents like they're just temporary employees, because they are, while the deep state does not have the same turnover rate as the presidency.
Yeah, well, maybe, Alex, the best thing that happened was Trump having that 4 year pause to actually think about what he went through the first time around. Because, look, personnel is policy. So many of the people that he hired, or people were thrust into his lap during his first term, really subverted him from within. They say, they had the Congress during his first term, he couldn't enact anything. Well, obviously, when the Uniparty is running the show, and you have Mueller breathing down Trump's neck, he can't propose or enact the America First agenda. He had the 4 years. He went through hell himself. He had a weaponized justice system arraign him, indict him, convict him, and attempt to throw him in prison and bankrupt him. So I'm pretty sure after living that on his own skin, after, of course, the numerous subpoenas and whatever he went through during the first term, I don't think he's going to let these people off lightly. And it's not about revenge. It's about justice. It's about having a one-tiered system of justice where the rule of law is applied equally and fairly. That's what Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, John Radcliffe, all of these people are going to do. You just can't throw magic dust and think you're going to solve a situation. I mean, we don't live in a kangaroo court system. I know Biden thought we did, but you have to follow the facts where they lead. You have to indict these people. You have to subpoena them. And if you ultimately convict them, that's probably going to be a very good thing, Alex.
Well, I hope all that does come to fruition, and I think that obviously is a much stronger possibility under Trump than any other presidential candidate, and that's kind of what I'm also worried about. It was a great thing that now looking back that Biden had those 4 years because we could see how bad it is. But then after Trump, I don't think there's a lot of prospects on the left, but I mean, this is going to be disrespectful to some conservative politicians. I don't think there's a lot of great people in the bullpen on the right when it really comes down to it, other than Donald Trump. And I love Donald Trump, but I think there's a uniparty, and that's our problem, is that a lot of these people, they act like they're fighting each other, but really at the end of the day, behind closed doors, they're all just, going to the same clubs, patting each other on the back, agreeing to the same deals, and being influenced by the same political action committees. So, it's sometimes I think it's an illusion, and that's why I like Donald Trump, because he's so anti-establishment. But when it comes to your situation, George, they got you on what is called the technicality, and people might not know because, George, he had to do some jail time. George is not a criminal. What George did, and quote me or correct me if I'm wrong, you misrepresented the truth to an FBI agent. What people don't realize, if you lie to an FBI agent about anything, that is considered a federal offense. If I lied to the FBI technically about where I was on a certain evening, that would technically be an offense. So they got you on a technicality to assassinate your character. Have you been justified for what you've gone through, and do you think that you've gotten the support, or has it been a total character assassination that you're really having trouble recovering from?
No, Alex, look, I'm very lucky that I had a then girlfriend, now incredible wife, Simona, who, went through the fire with me through this entire situation. They attacked her in the media. They were calling her all these crazy names. Mueller subpoenaed her. She was speaking on my behalf at a time when I couldn't. She became really infamous during those very dark years, going on Tucker Carlson, MSNBC, all these various channels basically saying, hey, look, there was a setup going on here. And then obviously Donald Trump, when he was president, I'm assuming was listening to her, was listening to others. And then he said they spied on my campaign. There was some information that came out there. And then that's when the ball started changing. That's when the tide changed. That's when Donald Trump went on offense. And that's when my story started. More light was shown on my situation. So I think I've been completely exonerated. I've been vindicated. I was pardoned, thank goodness, by President Trump. I'll always be grateful to that. And the American people have been absolutely incredible to both me, Simona, and our families in their support. We give speeches all around the country. I work with Newsmax now for the last 5 years. I wrote a best-selling book. We worked on an incredible docuseries with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, it's on the Tucker Carlson network. Yes, somebody tell me about that. That's incredible. So long story short, it hasn't. You've been able to recover, and that's what I like to hear, because they try to do that to try to ruin you. They try to bankrupt you, which they probably did financially hurt you a considerable amount. But I'm happy to hear the success story, and people like the comeback story. So in a way, it gives you some street credibility, right, George? You actually have some battle scars.
Hey, you know what? It puts hair on your chest and it gives you some battle scars, but you end up stronger on the other end. And you're absolutely right. Alex, you took the words right out of my mouth. The American people love the comeback story. They love to see the underdog get out on top. And that's really what this story is. And in many ways, Donald Trump himself and MAGA, over 75 million to 80 million Americans, were the underdog the last 8 years. It was us versus the uniparty, versus the deep state, versus the globalists, and actually succeeding against all odds, not only in 2016, but obviously this past election, when so much was leveled against Trump, so much was leveled against MAGA. And it's just an incredible turnaround. So I don't think we could lose this opportunity. And I think we should really take advantage of these next 4 years and into the next.
Yeah, I always worry about, am I too naive? Because I remember in 2016, I was like, I didn't think Trump's going to win, Even though I like Trump, my mom liked Trump. My mom was telling me Trump's going to win. I was like, Mom, you're crazy. Even though we wanted Trump to win, I just didn't think it, right? And then, I remember, looking back, leading up to it, believe it or not, and I'm just Monday morning quarterbacking this, but and I'm wrong all the time, but just my gut judgment, James Comey bringing up the Hillary emails was the #1 straw that broke the camel's back, in my opinion, that helped Donald Trump win. Now, am I correct in that assumption, or how important was James Comey doing that? And does that make him a good person, or is he just covering his ass, George?
Look, I think so. So what's actually come out, which is very interesting, and this is probably going to shock you and likely your audience, the reason that Comey's under investigation by the current FBI director is because Comey actually launched what was called an off-the-books investigation into myself and others in 2015, early 2016.
Wait, time out. What off-the-books investigation? What does that mean? So that means that these are FBI agents that are working off the clock, or these are non-FBI agents that are in charge of, like, what is that in your instance? I just worry about. So what is this off-the-books FBI agency going after you? Can you describe that a little more?
Sure. So Alex, this is all reported, right? This isn't just my opinion. This is in the Washington Times. This has been reported in other newspapers. Basically, the situation was that James Comey himself saw a picture of me or saw my name somewhere and said, I don't know what I'm going to do to find out what dirt I can on this guy, but whether I find it legally or not, I'm going to plant it on him. So how do they do that to me? They concocted this scheme with honeypots. Now, if you don't know what a honeypot is,
I'm very familiar. But you're telling me that James Comey is directly responsible for using the FBI to honeypot you. Keep going. This is just very interesting. I know this is all out there, but this story is just so insane. Keep going. Sorry.
Look, when I read the story in the Washington Times, and I think that's actually the title. I think it's called It's Off the Books Comey Investigation. If your viewers Google it, they'll find it right now. My mouth dropped because I knew that, the Crossfire Hurricane investigation, the FBI, Comey, Brennan, Obama were dirty and shady, and that they were really just planting evidence on people like myself, Roger Stone, and ultimately the president. I did not know to what extent they went to break the law and expect to never be caught doing it. So that is how they really started this entire situation. And then, Alex, there's other reporting that came out last summer that you're probably going to see in the headlines moving forward, that the CIA was involved. There were foreign governments involved too with the FBI. It's the most insane, it's a spy movie thriller that I can't even believe is real, but we covered it extensively in TCN's All the President's Men. I highly recommend your viewers check it out in my book, Deep State Target. And I think this is why Ed Martin sent this letter, this almost subpoena to Mueller's prosecutor. I think that's why Comey's under investigation. I think that's why John Brennan's been silent, and why I think Donald Trump is in such a good mood, even while it seems that things are kind of, in kind of an unstable situation with China and some of this tariff stuff.
Well, we need to investigate Comey if he was doing black ops. That is a huge deal. But it just kind of blows my mind when, you look at like the weaponization of the Department of Justice and how they can just, arrest these MAGA grannies, but they don't care about the cartel and like the stuff they care about. If you become a target, you're absolutely screwed. So what was like the basis? This is where I'm so confused. How could the CIA be so incompetent? Because how could they be so incompetent with giving information to NPR and PBS and every media outlet? Like, this is all they talked about, Russian collusion. How could they have so much smoke without a smoking gun?
Well, look, we live in between Los Angeles and Miami now, but Los Angeles has primarily been home. And, I always say that these people likely teamed up with Hollywood producers to create the scenario that resulted in the spying, in the fake investigation, because there was absolutely no basis whatsoever. If I told you right now, Alex, that I've never traveled to Russia, I've never met a Russian government official in my life, you probably wouldn't believe it, but I've never traveled to Russia. I've never met a Russian official, but if you followed the news 6-7 years ago, you would have thought that I was Putin's best friend, the guy that...
Yeah, but real quick, George, who gives a damn if you did? I meet Venezuelans all the time on the labor pool that might be in Trinidad Oruga. I mean, I meet people from other countries all the time. I mean, if you meet a Russian, good for you. I've met Russian people. I mean, so what? That doesn't... I brought up the Tenet thing, too. You know, Tim got in a little bit of trouble. It ended up all being wiped away. But that's just because they had sanctions on Russia. It's not illegal for Russians to pay in America, but we currently have sanctions on them, so that's why it's illegal. But my point is, this Russian collusion, it was just, I mean, it was bullshit from the start. And the basis of it is that he had a sex romp in a hotel. That's what the media always said. and it didn't even really make sense why it was such a big deal. And I know I'm missing parts of the story, but I just still don't understand how they could it was like the weapons of mass destruction, how they said that for sure they got weapons of mass destruction, for sure they got weapons of mass destruction. And you would turn on the news, it's like, he's doing business with Russia. They have tapes of him having sex with Russian prostitutes that they're using to blackmail him in order to influence the election. I mean, they talked about it like as if it was the realest thing ever, and it was all bullshit.
You know, Alex, there's the pre-2016 world and the post-2016 world in terms of like people waking up to disinformation, propaganda. And the main reason for that is the advent of social media, decentralized media, shows like yours, others. And people aren't following the official narratives anymore. People are doing their own due diligence, their own research. They're getting alternative sources of information. Because I think, like you mentioned, the Iraq War and some of these other things, if they were in today's world, we probably wouldn't, we'd have people in the Bush administration likely indicted for what they did. But because so much was covered up, so much was just suppressed in terms of, mainstream information. No one really knew what the hell was going on. With this situation, because of who Donald Trump is, his aura, obviously how big it was, him being elected in 2016 and beyond, people have much more interest in the story. They did their own research. Things became declassified. And that's why this story, we're talking about it almost 10 years later, because we still don't have the full story. And I think we're finally going to get it, Alex.
Well, I definitely want to get more transparency when it comes to a lot of stuff. How much of that we'll get, I guess time will tell. Now, before you go, George, tell us about this conservative caucus event you're speaking at with our boy Rod Blagojevich and your lovely wife Simona, which I cannot believe. She's from Italy, and you convinced her to move to America. And listen, they've accused me of being a Nazi because I'm a nationalist. I love America. I'd rather live in America. But I'd imagine living in Milan, Italy, or living in Italy in a small town would beat almost any American city. I mean, is that a fair assumption, or am I out of line with that?
You know what? I married up. What can I say? I don't know how. Not only did I marry up in terms of how gorgeous and smart she is, but she obviously moved from the most beautiful country in the world to the United States to marry a guy who was going through hell and back. But somehow we made it work out, and I think it's a testament to believing in relationships. Not giving up on one another. And I think that's something that a lot of people, can respect about what we went through and how we survived it on the other hand. So regarding the Conservative Caucus event, yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. They're a wonderful organization. Got a chance to meet them in Washington, D.C. with Rudy Giuliani, who's giving a speech out there. Janelle, the organizer, is wonderful. Governor Rod Blagojevich, my wife, others. We're going to have a great time. And it's in my home state of Illinois. So hopefully things change over in that once wonderful state and the city of Chicago, and we can hopefully flip that state red because the people are suffering, and some light's going to be shown on that situation.
Well, that's the last thing I want to talk about. I talked a little bit about it with Simona. It's funny, like Chicago is becoming like Detroit. Chicago is this epic city, this great city, like arguably like one of the top American cities, and now. Not just the danger, but just how they sold out all their toll booths to the United Arab Emirates. They have toll cameras, they have speeding cameras, just like the quality of life. It should be so much better, but it's not. So can Illinois recover, in your opinion, and become a great state that it should be?
Look, the highest taxes or the second highest taxes in the country. Some of the worst performances for test scores among kindergarten through 8th grade, a violence epidemic, a health epidemic. It's a very segregated city in many ways. There's extreme inequality of wealth in that city. And what's the one thing that ties all this together, Alex? Democrat leadership. We haven't had a Republican there in over 50 years. We had a guy who ran against the current mayor last election as a center left guy, or whatever you want to call it.
He did okay. He brought it. But is Brandon Johnson, isn't he even worse than Lori Lightfoot, they're saying? But I don't know how he could be worse than Beetlejuice.
Look, both are horrific looking and policy-wise. And I think now, finally, the people of Chicago have had enough. I think the violence, the high taxes, and the cold weather is just a little too much. I think, that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And we have an election in the city, I think next year in 2027. So I'm looking very carefully to see what kind of candidates some normal people put up. maybe Rod Blagojevich decides to throw his hat in the ring. That'll be very interesting. He's obviously been supported by the president as some sort of MAGA Democrat.
That would be great if he ran for
That would be
mayor.
great.
Is he considering that? Is that a serious consideration? Or are you just trying to plant that seed, or is that a real thing? Did we just get some exclusive information?
You know, Alex, we had the former governor on our show, Global View, with Simone and I, and we basically told him, we think you should run. What do you think? He says, if my wife lets me run, I'm going to run. And he's looking to make a comeback. This came directly from him. So I think if he decides to do it, he'll have a lot of support, and he might surprise many people in that state and city. So you never know. But
with the Trump bump, if he can get the Trump bump, dude, he can win. I mean, I really do believe that he can win. And in a city that needs sweeping changes. So,
exactly.
you know, that's why, what is it? Jurassic Times call for Jurassic Measures call for Jurassic Times. Whatever the saying is, shit's fucked up, and they need to fix it. They need to change it, and they need Blagojevich. And he's a liberal. I mean, he's a conservative more now, but you know what I'm saying? He's a moderate guy. He's in the middle, so he's not totally libtarded. And so I think that he checks a lot of boxes. He should go gay, though, right? That's what needs to be? He needs to become bisexual.
Well, look, you know, 8 years in prison gives you a lot of street cred.
He can say he was prison bisexual. Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's genius, George. You are, no wonder Trump hired you. All right. Thank you, George. Everybody go see the Conservative Caucus, and everybody go follow George. He's great on Twitter. He's got a great Twitter account. And thank you. I'm sorry that you were a victim of a heinous justice system that I'm always worried about because I've said some unkind things about some powerful people that I'm always worried about one day getting retaliation for, and I hope that doesn't happen. But you have been retaliated against, and you made it on the other side, so that gives me hope. So thank you, George. Talk to you again soon, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. A father tells his son the greatest story ever told, and what begins as a bedtime tale becomes a life-changing journey. Through vivid imagination, the boy walks alongside Jesus, witnessing his miracles, facing his trials, and understanding his ultimate sacrifice. The King of Kings invites us to rediscover the enduring power of hope, love, and redemption through the eyes of a child. This film has a high-profile cast, with voices to include Oscar Isaac, Pierce Brosnan, Mark Hamill, Kenneth Branagh, Ben Kingsley, Uma Thurman, and Forrest Whitaker. That's just a few of them. There's also some beautiful animation, and it's the perfect film to enjoy with your family this Easter. To watch this film, go to angel.com/Alex. That's angel.com/Alex. King of Kings. See Jesus Christ through the eyes of a young boy, told by Charles Dickens. Wait, that's confusing, Jimmy. Is this the story of Charles Dickens? I saw some of the movie. I only saw a trailer. Have you seen the whole movie of King of Kings yet?
I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I've only seen the trailer.
I didn't realize it was Charles Dickens inspired, but it's a great. But the trailer's great. Everybody needs to go watch King of Kings, and it is. Everybody loves Jesus. I love Jesus, even if you're Jewish. Jesus was Jewish, so Jewish people can watch it too. All right. Now, is our next guest ready, or do we need to talk about?
He is ready.
He is. The puppet is ready. Edgar is ready.
He is very ready.
All right, guys. You guys know our next guest. He's a viral sensation. He is out there risking his neck against these libtards and transgenders. We welcome on the one, the only, Edgar the Puppet. Ed, what's up, brother?
Hi, Alex. I don't have anything specific against transgenders, but the libtards are trying to kill me lately. It's absolutely true.
Okay, wait, time out. So you're pro-transgender now. So now you're a big transgender.
I got nothing really too against them, but I find that the trans thing is absolutely independent of their desire to kill me.
Well, I don't have anything. I don't have anything against them. Actually, I kind of like the transgenders. A lot of conservatives, they hate on transgenders unfairly, and they try to outlaw them from competing against women in sports. I think that's stupid because we can gamble on the transgenders and win money, Edgar. So I'm sick of these conservatives trying to put transgenders down when we can benefit from their strength and glory.
Yeah, I would. If you want to bet on a new woman's world record being set, yeah, I would put your money on the transgender person. Absolutely. From a financial perspective, I think the strategy is clear.
It's better than the S&P 500, and experts are saying to short that. How's your portfolio doing, Edgar, with the recent Trump tariffs?
I'm 5 years old, buddy. I got nothing. This is my only shirt. I'm living in a cardboard box behind Five Guys Burgers and Fries, but that's the way I like it.
Oh, so you're not doing well, I guess. With all that being said, you're not doing very well.
I don't know, man.
It's okay. It's okay to be honest.
I don't know.
I mean, you're a street puppet fighting.
Am I being paid? I don't know.
No, you don't need money. You can just. I mean, can't you just eat the souls of children? Isn't that what puppets eat?
Listen, this is puppet phobic, and I won't stand for it, especially because I don't have legs.
Yeah, I apologize.
I love children, man, and that's what today's all about, isn't it? Protecting
Don't you love
Elon's
children a
baby
little too much, though,
from,
Edgar? Don't you love it? Because
from all this wickedness.
I heard Alex Rosen caught you on a recent pedophile bust. Is that true that you were texting with one of his decoys, Edgar?
Who's Alex Rosen? Is he like your manservant?
Yeah, well, not my manservant, but he's one of the best pedophile poachers in the game right now. But well, listen, we'll wait till that comes out. Recently, you were attacked, and I heard that they grabbed you, they touched you, you were sexually assaulted in a way that you said that you liked part of it, though, right? Is that Jimmy told me that you got assaulted, but you liked it because you have a weird, humiliation fetish?
Jimmy needs to stop projecting his own predilections upon my puppety person. I do not
true.
understand this, man. I suggest you dock his pay until he starts telling the truth.
Well, luckily we
All
don't
right.
pay him, so that's good. So he's already docked. So I guess we're already taking your advice. Okay, Jimmy, let's watch that. I don't know, what SOT is it? Yeah, SOT number 1, Edgar getting assaulted. I want to see this.
How many people have you pissed off today?
You can go bother someone else.
Rot in hell.
Decide what you want, woman! This house got squirted with water. This has been a horrible experience. What other bad things do you think will happen? We're here at the latest protest of Democrats. I don't even know what it's for. But everyone's here. Angry olds, Reddit mods, penguin bullies. This is my bastard son, Willis. See the resemblance? And we're here with a message of healing. Where are the signs that say hands off kids?
You won't find those here.
Why? No, please stop touching me. I am a little boy. Oh, please don't touch me. Thank you. Why are Democrats always touching me? Oh, she's crying. Oh, what happened, babe?
Oh, look, a creepy guy with a puppet.
We were here first. You came to our area.
And you were, what, being disrespectful to
No.
Oh, wait. I don't know. You pretty much told me that all my coworkers deserve to be fired.
I did not say that. Why are you
Were they really
crying?
crying?
I watch good people get fired.
I understand.
Assholes. You can go bother someone else.
We don't want to bother her. Don't touch me. We're
it's
okay.
offensive what he does.
It's offensive what I
can't
do.
believe you have 50,000 followers and that your tagline is literally ask feminists offensive questions. So
Watch the video. The feminists are laughing their ass off.
I'm sure.
I love when I go to a protest too, and they get mad at you for going to the protest. Like, I mean, what are we supposed to do, Edgar? You're at the damn protest. You're participating in the protest, and they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're there with them, and they just automatically hate you. It's like you're the one that's causing a scene. You're the one that's shutting down a damn park and out here you're the one that's causing a scene, okay? You freaking protesters. So don't get mad at me because I got my camera and I'm trying to ask you some stupid fucking questions. Excuse my French, but you can tell I'm passionate about protesters and protesters' rights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, look, I went there with a big sign that said butt hurt. And I went there with my bastard son, Willis, who is still recovering from his injuries, by the way. Thank you, protesters. They threw a can of corn at him and nearly killed him.
I know. What was
you'd like
that?
to be
Was that
alive.
corn? I was wondering. I thought that was a bottle of water or something. That was a can. Why did they have a can of corn? That didn't even make sense.
Vegetables make good missiles, especially when they're in an aluminum casing.
I know, but you're telling me that some guy went to the damn grocery store and bought some damn canned goods and brought it to a protest to throw at people? I mean...
Look, man, they're crazy out there, Alex. You know this. You know this. And they'll attack you for no reason. You know this, buddy. They'll attack you if you have the wrong opinions. They'll menace. They surrounded us because of the false accusation of a woman there. She said that I relished the fact that her coworkers got fired, and I didn't. I was telling them about my tale of being fired from Wendy's, and I told them I deserved to be fired. But this crazy woman misheard it or something, or decided to tell a lie, and told all her friends I said her friends deserved to be fired, and they all swarmed around, and she shed crocodile tears for several minutes, but then is like laughing behind the scenes. You can see it in the video. It's it just destroyed my faith in humanity, sir.
Yeah, well, that's why, because when you go to these protests and you're having an opposite opinion, they want like a target to be mad at, right? So they know that you're not on their side. So then all of a sudden, just the mind hive, they all get together like, oh, that puppet's evil. That puppet's evil. I want to go, molest that puppet.
An old man I've never even met before came up to me, gave me the finger, and said, "Rot in hell." And like, he wouldn't even talk to me, and it kind of depressed me a little bit. But we got a good episode out of it, and that's all that matters. This little bit of performance art that we call Ask America with Edgar on YouTube. Hit like and subscribe.
Everybody needs to hit like and subscribe. It is one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube. It is great content. No, but Edgar, before you go there, we only got you for a couple more minutes. I want to ask you a couple detailed questions. You know, I'm very good friends with the person that's involved in this, and I'm not a romantic friend. I just want to make that clear. I love my baby prepaid wireless, but Ashley St. Clair is a friend of mine. You know, I've been on Tim Pool with her, and you know, her and I, she's helped me out on one or two things. She's always been very nice to me, and she's going through a bad custody battle, I guess, to say the least. And she's getting attacked, and maybe some of it's fair, maybe some of it's unfair. But she recently did another Wall Street, or she did her first interview was with who? I forget who that was with. Not New York Post, and now this is with the Wall Street Journal. So she's kind of so this one had some interesting details that was not in the first one. So I just wanted to go through a couple of these details and get your opinion on it. So I guess
I have opinions.
You do have some opinions on this. So are you pro Ashley St. Clair, or do you call her, or do you think she's a hussy and she's taking advantage of Elon Musk?
Okay, well, I think there's two rules to remember, Alex. Rule number one, don't stick your Muppet in crazy. Rule number two is, look, she is cute and attractive and winsome, but that is no excuse for poor contract management. She really should have clarified things with Elon Musk. And on top of this, though, is this general lament, like, Elon, we need you. Why do you have to be so freaking weird?
Well, is this weird? I mean, wait, okay, time out. Let me just calm down. Let me calm down, because I know I'm talking to a puppet.
Calm down.
We're having a serious thing, though. Is it weird? And I think it was weird how Jeffrey Epstein wanted to have he wanted to make his New Mexico ranch like a breeding ground. But is it weird that Elon Musk, because he's a billionaire and has unlimited resources, is it weird that he wants to have as many kids as possible? Like, is that, like, I think it's unusual for a normal person, but should that be demonized as much as it is because he's not being a trad dad and he's just being a deadbeat dad? Like, is that bad, Edgar? Serious question.
Oh, boy. You know what? Let me be serious for a minute. I actually don't know. What I do lament, sir, this is between two people. What I do lament, sir, is suddenly, especially because of these contract negotiations, I worry about the safety of the child. Last weekend,
what do you mean? Wait, you're trolling. These kids are richer than you and I will ever be, and even though their dad's a deadbeat, they're set for life. They're not gonna be that. Cry while you're on a freaking vacation in the south of France. I mean, what the fuck? Who gives a damn?
No, I'm talking about the actual security of the child. If she is, if funds for her are being diminished or something, she has less to pay for security. I think she and her child might be in danger. That's kind of weird because a lot of people hate Elon and they will do anything to hurt him and get at him, including trying to do something to any of his 65 kids, including little WD-40, the newest one.
Well, let's be honest. WD-40 is a good one, but if the trans one got abducted by the cartel, I don't think Elon Musk would be putting their face on any milk cartons, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. It's parenthood's a weird thing.
You think he would look at the transgender child?
Wait, Willis, even though he's an absolute lunkhead.
I'm blowing the whistle. You honestly answer this question honest. You believe that Elon Musk would put the same amount of effort and energy in finding his trans daughter as much as he would any of the other kids that he actually loves?
Yes.
All right, I'll allow it. I disagree with
I got no joke. I'm sorry. You asked me a question.
Hey, answer the question.
I think yes.
Listen, we don't.
But his reasons are his own, but I think yes.
Musk offered St. Clair. Wait, listen.
Did I disappoint you?
No, I love it. Listen, I'm the world's greatest college debater. I don't even like agreeing with people. But this is interesting. Musk offered St. Clair $15 million and $100,000 a month in support in exchange for her silence about the child, whom they named Romulus. What the?
Yep.
Was that in the first article that the son's name is Romulus?
No, that's new information.
Go to ChatGPT. What is, isn't that from a, what is Romulus?
Yeah, that's from Remus and Romulus, the two wolves that mythologically founded the city of Rome.
Yeah, they suckled on a wolf's titties in order to survive. Maybe this is indicative of the type of relationship Elon had with her. I mean, she's got a good set of milkers. I can understand the naming nomenclature.
I can't really argue with that.
No, you can't, sir.
Similar agreements had been negotiated with other mothers of Musk's children, Burchell told St. Clair. And then Musk used his wealth to buy the silence of some women who have his kids, according to St. Clair, as well as other people. Non-disclosure clauses are part of some of the payment agreements. If the mothers push back or seek outside counsel, Musk's advisors, including Burchell, have threatened financial retribution, according to documents and people. So I don't know. I mean, if you have a woman sign an NDA to keep her mouth shut, she probably should shut her mouth.
I think she's your friend, man. I don't want to bust on her.
No, she's my friend. I'm happy she's talking. I mean, I'm not her, but I'm saying if any women that I ever made sign an NDA, she opens her mouth, you're getting sued.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
what? Go ahead.
Was she attracted to you ever? Did you get that vibe?
Was Ashley St. Clair attracted to me in a friendly way? In a friendly way. She's a very.
That doesn't count.
She is a very social butterfly. So she is, when you talk to her, she does kind of give you the impression that maybe she's not interested in me in a sexual manner, but she does give you the attention that not all women do sometimes. So yeah, listen, Ashley St. Clair, she's an attractive woman. She uses her beauty to help her get things in life, and I don't blame her for it because, listen, these women, the older they get, the less hot they get, and so they only have a short window, so get it while you can. And she is in her 30s getting pregnant by billionaires. Hell, I mean, you know, it's not too bad. A lot of these women would love to get knocked up by Elon Musk, including Tiffany Fong.
You sound like, this sounds like the picture of reluctant respect that you have for her. And I get it, Alex, I do. I think it's, there's a tragedy and there's a comedy here. We're going to see which of these tales ends up. I wish I had something really funnier to say about it.
No, this isn't a funny segment. This is a serious segment.
No. Good.
This is very serious. Please be serious, Edgar. Okay. During the height of her interactions with billionaire owner, Fong earned $21,000 on the platform in a 2-week period in November, according to a screenshot she posted. That was about, and she apparently sent a message to Ashley St. Clair talking about how Musk wanted to impregnate her as well. And that caused some sort of beef and caused Fong to break up with Musk. So do you think Fong and Musk ever banged?
I don't know, but earning $21,000 because you're one of Elon's favorites seems a little fishy. I mean, look, are Twitter payouts that great?
No, they're not. No, they're not. I just had a video, real quick. I had a video organically get 38 million views. Had over, it had 1.2 million. I'm not trying to brag. I'm saying over engagement. I got $300 in a 2-week thing. 300. I didn't expect to get thousands, but I'm like, this video is huge. I got $300.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so
20,000.
Look, I like Elon, but I think these payments are a little sus.
Yeah, well, Edgar, you saw that because people were like, there was people trying to defend her. The Elon said, it's like, oh, well, she has memberships on. She just has that many members. She didn't have 10,000 members. You know what I mean? She didn't have 5,000 members or 4,000 members paying her $5 a month. No way.
Yeah, this is between Mr. Musk and his hired vagina. I really, I just see it feels so painful to invade it, like I'm a third thingy.
I wonder how horny Elon Musk actually is. I mean, if you had to rate him on horniness of billionaires, because Donald Trump's horny, and he's never said that he's not horny. Jeff Bezos, obviously horny. Lauren Sanchez looks like a damn blow-up doll. When it comes to billionaires and horniness, where does Elon rank on the horniness level of billionaires?
I think standard. It's just where he puts it. Unlike the rest of us, he's just not depositing it into an old tube sock. He's making more of himself. So I don't know. There's just so many philosophical debates. They're overwhelming me. This poor little puppet. I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, he's
an easy
maximum
answer.
horny.
Okay, easy answer. Even though he went to Epstein's Island, I still think that Elon is more horny than Bill Gates. Is that fair?
Ooh.
But Steve Ballmer.
What did Bill Gates do on Epstein Island? Was it kids?
He had sex with a few children on accident. You know what I mean? You know, that's what he says.
I just to equate the two just seems. Look, Bill Gates is disgusting.
All
Elon
he
Musk
did was
is
get a
weird,
massage
but
on his penis with somebody's vagina. I don't know why, in a child's vagina. I mean, it was partially consensual. He consented to it, so I mean, it was a one consent situation. But listen,
this is a very child-centric episode of yours, Alex.
this is a kid's show. This is a kid's show, believe it or not. That's why we have puppets on to talk about serious political issues. And
I'm kind of taxing, to be honest.
It's tough. No, it's tough. That's what we say. This is the hardball with Chris Matthews and Alex Stein. Okay, before you go, we got there's a couple.
You got to do full screen 15. That's the most absurd one.
Yeah, what is full screen 15? I'm pulling up right here. I got all these damn papers. Okay, what do you read it, Jimmy?
So, while she was pregnant, this is talking about Ashley St. Clair, Musk had urged her to deliver the baby via C-section and told her he didn't want the child to be circumcised. Musk has posted on X that vaginal births limit brain size and that C-sections allow for larger brains. St. Clair is Jewish and circumcisions are an important ritual in the religion, and she decided against a C-section. He told her she should have 10 babies, and they debated the child's middle name. That's kind of a interesting detail to end on.
You know why he was trying to do that?
Why?
He was trying to total her vagina out.
Oh, max it out. Vag maxing.
Total it out. I mean, you can see, I mean, it's total. I mean, you can fix it, but I mean, listen, I mean, a Pizza Hut shuts down, it becomes a Chinese restaurant. It's still a Pizza Hut. You know, I mean, it's like you can't fix that after the C-section. They're just lopping off, parts of your vagina.
Can I hold out a quiet faith that they both just work it out? That maybe they'll fix it? Or is her motivation just attention? Is she working for Mossad? Is she working for herself? Is it about money? Is it about acclaim? Is it about notoriety? You know her best, Alex. What's it about?
I do know Ashley, and I haven't talked to her really about this at all. I sent her like one message, and I think she just liked it or something. I know Ashley, and it's not notoriety that she's after. I do, and if she sees this, I'm not saying this in a mean way, and I would say this to her face, money is a huge motivating factor in this. I'm not saying she just got pregnant for money, but Ashley's not stupid. She knows by having a baby with a billionaire is going to afford her some luxuries in life that she probably was not going to have before the baby. So she's not dumb, but I don't think she just had it for the money. I think that was a big motivating factor, and I don't think it was just for the clout. I honestly believe, and I haven't talked to her about this, and maybe I'm white knighting for a page. My girlfriend's gonna say you were white knighting for.
Yeah.
I believe she probably liked Elon. I believe she probably did like Elon and probably wanted to be with Elon and probably didn't want him to be banging all these other girls. And now that she realizes that it was just kind of a transactional business deal for him, she's probably scorned lover. And how she's handling is not great, but she could be worse. She probably has even more incriminating weird stuff on Elon. If you know, I don't know that, but I'm just guessing.
Alex, do you still like Elon? Has your like for him
I've never liked
diminished?
Elon. I've never liked Elon, really. I mean, I like Elon because he brought Twitter back, but he's trying to make a damn Tesla, where you can get that Neuralink, you can park a Tesla with your brain, and he's trying to make it where soldiers that had their arm blasted off, where they have the, AI arm, which that sounds cool, but I don't know. There's just something weird about Elon that it's always... I like him, but I'm also not an Elon stan at the same time. I'm still kind of on the fence. What about you? Are you an Elon stan?
I want my Twitter earnings to really skyrocket. I love Elon Musk. Elon, I want to have your baby. You can put it in my puppet hole anytime. I will reproduce for you. We can name the kid any damn thing you want as long as it's got some Roman numerals in it. I'm okay, man. Just I need to up my Twitter. Right. Oh, sorry. I accidentally did a seagull there.
Yeah.
I need to up. See, I'm ready. I need to up my Twitter.
I mean, there's nothing. There's no greater gift you could give a man than your puppet hole. So if you are,
it's magnificent.
I know Elon's probably watching this. Elon, think about that. You've had a lot of holes. You've had Asian holes, Tiffany Fong. You've had Jewish holes, Ashley St. Clair. It looks like his other wife is autistic, so he's got autistic holes.
Perfect.
Try a puppet hole, and
You know,
we're offering
yeah,
that.
it's a great big puppet hole of wonder, Mr. Musk.
And would you get a
Behold,
C-section?
well,
Would you get a
you know how to reach
C-section,
me, buddy?
Would you get a C-section, Edgar, if he got you pregnant?
Yeah, I'd split my whole body in two if it meant being able to bear this man's children and get more money on Twitter. Yes.
Just to get $7,000 on your X payout, you would do that?
Yeah. See, on YouTube, it's a little easier to make money. By the way, everyone should hit like and subscribe on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Twitter, it's a little harder, and I'll do what I gotta do to get the coin, buddy.
I know what that's like. All right, Edgar. Oh yeah, you just shut it out. But before you go, tell the people how can they support you best.
Okay, at Puppet Edgar on X and on Instagram and TikTok, but on YouTube, it's Ask America with Edgar. And if you subscribe and you turn your settings on YouTube to public subscriptions, I will know to handle your questions first. Write me anything in the comment section. I'll answer it with as much puppety knowledge as I can.
I love that access. That's a true artist willing to interact with their fans. And
Yeah. I let my subscribers enter my puppet hole, metaphorically.
Metaphorically, or not metaphorically, physically, let them have the hole. Actually, this is the last thing.
Disgusting.
Are there any big protests coming up? Because I know there's one like every other weekend, but are there any like big ones, like March for Life or whatever? You know how like there's, positive, negative ones? Are there any big ones that are coming up?
There's World Pride Day. That's not so much a protest as a celebration.
Yeah,
We'll
like a
probably be
rally.
hitting that.
They call it a rally.
It's protest season. It's riot season in DC. We will be there hopefully to cover it and hopefully to stay as safe as possible. They're getting crazier, sir. And you especially, I'm a little bit worried about you, sir. I worry about you dragging your girlfriend to these events. You should do what I do, drag an intern instead because they're expendable.
I would, but I've killed all my interns accidentally by taking them out in the field. So,
Jesus.
See you, Edgar.
This got dark.
It's a dark show. It's a kid's show.
It is. I'm in shock.
Cocaine is bad, kids. Don't do it. I had some of the best time of my life using cocaine.
Yeah, well, I have faith in you that you're going to climb your way out of this hole, Alex.
But the problem is you start doing a little bit of cocaine, the next thing you know, it's cut with crystal meth, and then you're up for 4 days. And you're, butt naked in an online poker room, gambling your grandmother's gold coins that she got from her grandfather who fought in World War I. So, it's just it's a slippery slope. So
you need a hug, buddy. You need a hug.
I need more than that.
I'll give you a hug anytime you want.
I need more than that. So, all right. God bless you, Edgar. Stay safe, brother.
Like that? What do you need?
Get the puppet. That was weird. Was he trying to hand job it? What was he trying to do with his hand?
No, I was
That's
giving you a back slap,
disgusting.
like you were having asphyxiating.
This is a children's show.
For dumb children.
What do you think was more tragic, slavery or the Holocaust?
I was told this was going to be light and fun, you bastard.
The kids deserve to know about the Holocaust.
Listen, next time I'm on, I want you to have Lila Hart on here. She's short. She's my size. The tone will stay light here. This has gone crazy.
Lila thinks slavery is worse. Lila thinks slavery is worse.
Say again?
Lila thinks slavery was worse than the Holocaust.
Well, they're two of my favorite tragedies, so it's hard to choose. It's like choosing between Halloween and Easter, I guess.
Sophie's choice. Sophie's choice is what they call that.
There is no safe commenting on your freaking question, you nut.
We always talk about the Holocaust. Jimmy, you don't tell the guests we're always going to cover the Holocaust.
I thought it was kind of implied.
I failed Hitler studies in college. I'm afraid I'm really useless.
All right, bye, Edgar.
You look so stern.
This is a kid show. It's a kid show. This is a serious kid show. This is the Holocaust segment of the show. Yeah, it's going to be serious, Edgar. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'll do better next time.
It's
Never
easier
again
when I
will
talk
fail
about
this
subjects
badly.
like the Holocaust. It's easier to do it with a puppet. A kid can understand it better than if I'm talking to an adult about the Holocaust and the ovens and the gassing and the babies and if I talked about this with another adult, a kid might feel weird. But talking to a puppet that's going to give their puppet hole to Elon Musk, that's relatable. You didn't answer the question.
No, I'm just thinking about sending you to Mars. How do we make it happen if I get enough Twitter earnings?
Lucky
Can
for
I
me,
help you?
Mars is fake,
I
so
think-
that's lucky for me. And Elon Musk is lying about that. Okay, anything? I guess that's it. So I guess that's our show, almost our show. But we got a couple more things. Edgar, everybody go follow you. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't deliver everything you wanted, Alex.
No, you delivered. You delivered everything and then some. You gave your puppet hole to Elon Musk. You can't. Hey, there's nothing more that you could deliver other than your sweet cotton-made puppet hole.
Yeah, it'll be a deeply felt experience for him. Thanks, buddy. It's
Well, I
so
have a
nice
question.
to see you again.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think
More Holocaust stuff?
No, I'm not going to. We've talked about the Holocaust, but when it comes to slavery, the idea that the pyramids were built by slaves and carried these huge stones, but then when we got them here in America, they only picked cotton. It makes me seem like they didn't build the pyramids, right? I mean, wouldn't they have a lot? Wouldn't they be picking something much heavier if they actually did the pyramids?
Yes.
I think that's the right answer.
All right, we've touched upon child rape, slavery, and the Holocaust. I think we've got the trifecta of human misery here. And Egyptology as well. Sorry, the quadfecta.
And did you know over 64% of adult homosexuals said that they were sexually molested as a child?
Like, was it good molesting or bad molesting?
Bad
Sorry to
molesting.
really
No, bad
summon Whoopi
molesting.
Goldberg
No,
here.
cause them sexual
Was it rape?
dysfunction. It's bad molestation. All molestation is bad molestation unless it's a really hot teacher with a kid that's like 17 and a half.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm absolutely, I co-sign that. Totally fine.
In a state
Van
that's
Halen's
legal.
Hot for
In a
Teacher.
state that's legal. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Van Halen's Hot for Teacher is the #1 anthem of the 80s. So yeah, I find if the kid is 17 and the teacher's hot, I will allow it in most states.
But if the girl is 17 and the teacher's an old guy, you're a creep. All right, guys. Thank you, Edgar. Talk to you soon, brother. Stay safe.
Bye, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. We only have a few more minutes in the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. I see this is Katy Perry's patch that she wore. You can see this is clearly Baphomet. This is a horn. Excuse me. This is Baphomet. You can see the horns right there. And I don't know if we need to play it, but actually, real quick, because we only have a couple minutes left. Oh yeah, let me. This next company, guys, is awesome. Come here real quick. I'll read into this prompter. All right, guys, if CBD isn't part of your wellness routine yet, now's the time to change that. It's CBD Awareness Month, and CBDistillery is going all out with a massive sale. Save up to 60% off everything that includes their #1 best-selling relief stick for post-workout pain and their sleep gummies, which you guys are going to rave about. Look, these are some of these sleep gummies real quick. Look at this. These are 5 milligram THC. I don't know if you can read that. I don't know how well. It's hard to see, but this is they got some THC. They got CBDs. These things will help you sleep at night. I've been popping them in, sleeping like a damn baby. As a matter of fact, it makes you sleep so much I've been passing gas, and my girlfriend's been hitting me because I've been sleep tooting, and I don't even wake up. And they taste great, too. So if you guys are having trouble sleeping, really consider, being a patron to CBDistillery. They make quality products, and it's all it's up to you guys. You get $60 off when you use the code VIP. This is premium quality CBD, nothing artificial, no fillers, just clean plant-based solutions that actually work. Whether you need to sleep better, whether you need less stress, or you need relief from pain after exercise, CBDistillery. Or CBDistillery, excuse me, they're going to get mad. CBDistillery, but you can call it CBDistillery, but it's CBDistillery. They have a natural solution to help you. You don't want to miss this discount, guys. It's the perfect time to get started with CBD and stock up. Visit CBDistillery.com and use my promo code VIP. That's CBDistillery.com, code
VIP. CBDistillery.com. Specific product availability depends on individual state regulations. Party hard, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to sleep like a baby. And we got a great show tomorrow night. We have on, I haven't even talked to Charleston White. We're going to cause some drama. I shouldn't be looking at the chat, but I'll just close my computer. But we're having Unk the Punk, the guy that said he wanted to have sex with Charleston on. And I haven't told Charleston yet. And I'm worried that if I don't like fight Unk the Punk, you know, Charleston, I am a white guy, but when I hang out with Charleston, I have to follow the rules of the street. And those are gang rules. And I'm part of Charleston's gang, and it's like a Crip seeing somebody with a blood bandana. If you have a blue bandana, you see a guy with a red bandana. You don't even know the guy, but you have to go fight him. It's just gang laws. It's gang rules. So tomorrow night, I might actually be getting in a physical altercation, and I don't want to lose my job at the Blaze, so that's why it's like I know I'm going to have to restrain myself. But this is a guy that's saying he wants to have sex with Charleston White, who is one of my best friends, and it's not cool. Honestly, I don't really care, but I know Charleston doesn't play that, and in the black community, a lot of other African Americans don't play that stuff. So I'm going to have to kind of not be mean to the guy, but I think things could very well or very likely get out of hand tomorrow night. So we got a great show. You do not want to miss out. On top of that, what do we got? Vegas, April 26th through the 28th. We got the Chat Rat Meetup. Get tickets, tinyurl.com/chatratvegas. I want to see you guys all there. Thank you to our guest, George Papadopoulos. Thank you to Edgar the Puppet. Any other housekeeping stuff before we go, Jimmy?
Sam Hyde's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to Sam Hyde. We got to give a tribute. Sam Hyde, literally, guys, one of the greatest in the game. He's a trailblazer. He's a real, true icon. And I'm not, just trying to do this to get with my knee pads to kiss his ass, but people like Sam Hyde, not just what he's done with, $1 Million Extreme or his podcast and not just Fish Tank, but Sam Hyde is incredibly brilliant, and he was unfairly canceled. And, he might say it was a different thing, but I think that he got canceled by a guy that was jealous, Tim Heidecker, because he saw how brilliant and how successful that Sam Hyde was, is, and still is going to be successful. And that's why it's an honor to be friends with Sam Hyde, and I really appreciate him including me in Fish Tank. And shout out to the whole crew up there. We love Ryan, Jet, all the guys, Luke, that are working hard on Sam's new show. So shout out Sam Hyde, the real OG when it comes to avant-garde. He is the modern-day Andy Kaufman, but he's different than Andy Kaufman. He's better than Andy Kaufman, in my opinion, and I love Andy Kaufman, and I love Sam Hyde. So happy birthday, Sam. Guys, we end the show the same way every time with that freestyle finale, so DJ, hit that beat. Yo. Yo, mother trucker, yo, you got to go. Sam Hyde, it's your birthday. Sam Hyde, no, he don't play. Sam Hyde, always got the gun. Sam Hyde likes to have fun. Put the bullet in the thing, then I'm gonna shoot your dang-a-lang, shoot your dick off your balls. I don't really give a damn, call Paul. Let me say it one more time. I'm prime time, Alex Stein. Shoot you in the face, hope you like the taste of the lead. Shoot you in the head, now you're dead. All right, guys, I'm Primetime 99. We'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.